How's it going? Welcome to today's installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs, and I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Um, Please forgive or excuse the way that I sound today. I am actually, again, recovering from bronchitis for the second time this year. um, but anyway, yeah, I've been sick again in July. Um, and I cannot believe this. Um, yeah, so I've been sick for well over a week now, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. The little bit of the coughing and the congestion comes and goes, so I'm still a little bit plugged up right now. I've been on antibiotics for days at this point, days, and just waiting for this to kind of go away. I just had bronchitis in April too. I'm pretty sure now, the more I think about it, ever since I had COVID. And I had COVID in January, like 2-3 days into the new year. I got my first thing of COVID. And I'm starting to wonder if maybe that has made my immune system weaker. Because I usually get bronchitis at least maybe once a year. Ever since I was a teenager, I'd get it about once a year. Sometimes I wouldn't get it at all. I'd go a whole year without being sick. And here I am, 2 times. So I've been really sick for a total of 3 times this year. It's ridiculous. But that is not what this video is about. So I just want to kind of get that out of the way because I sound weird. I can't hear still. Like this ear is still kind of plugged, and this one's open. So I don't. But hey, we're gonna talk about the Saab for a little bit. Because when we did the Grand Am video, which was done almost 2 weeks ago, I told you we were probably going to do a Saab video next because the Saab has sadly been sitting here for a very long time at this point, and I kind of want to get it moving. So I think we're going to maybe carefully take it for a drive and kind of tell you guys what my plans are and stuff, I guess. I find it amazing that like at the beginning of spring I sprayed like all the cracks in the driveway to keep these weeds from coming up, and yet they just randomly sprung. There's a whole tree coming out here. Like, where did that even come from? And usually I buy the stuff that's supposed to kill all vegetation, and it usually lasts all year long. But I don't know. This year I just got random large weeds coming. I mean, these literally like grew overnight. And I know the yard has to get done, yes. Obviously I've been under the weather, so we haven't done anything with the yard. Hey, the Saab. So, here she is. She's been sitting here now for, oh my gosh, I lost track. I lost track at this point, and it hasn't been started in weeks at this point. I kind of neglected to come out here and start it up. The struts are the problem. The front struts, particularly this one, I'm pretty sure at this point, she's about to go. You can't see. I can't see. But one of these is leaking. I think that's the one that's leaking on that side. This one has a bad mount, and I did a tire repair on this particular tire up here at work well over a month ago, maybe almost 2 months at this point. I don't even remember, but had to do a tire repair because this tire kept going flat. They're not the best tires, but there's still a little bit of time left on them, so I went ahead and fixed it. But I did it at work, which means I used the lift to get the car off the ground, and I think when the suspension sagged, I think I messed up something. Or I didn't, but I think naturally something occurred And ever since then, I drove it maybe 2 times after that, and this strut here sounds awful every time you turn the wheel. It sounds like it's getting to the point now where it binds and then it just boom, you know, breaks free, and it's not the safest thing to drive, which is one of the reasons why I haven't been driving it. But I think I want to take it out today. I actually kind of want to maybe put a little bit more gas in it, because I don't remember exactly how much gas is in this car at this point. The gauge is not 100% accurate at this time, and it's been sitting, so I know it's probably going to read in a really wonky way. I think it was maybe somewhere between a half and a quarter. It might be a little below a quarter, but I don't remember. So I think we're going to at least take it to the gas station, which isn't too far. We'll put a little bit of gas in it. That way, it's got some fresh gas too. This, you know, like I said, it hasn't been running. But just sitting here, you know, I can kind of tell, like, stuff's peeling off. The weather's stripping. Obviously, this thing's getting worse because it's always facing the sun. This poor car, man. The paint's actually starting to crack at this point. I'm not going to go into the whole spiel. My stepsister, when she had this car, she had all this replaced. She had body work done, and whoever did it did a really crappy job, because it is coming back terribly. Of course, it's coming up down there. It's actually kind of peeling there. We got the hole. It makes me sad, because this is an awesome car. I love this car, and I really want to be able to drive it, you know, with it in, you know, better mechanical. Oh, it is hot in here. 197,451 on the clock. You can see the battery's still alive. This thing will start, like, it'll sit for, you know, I've had it sit for days and days, and, you know, it fires right up. So the battery's still pretty good. We'll go ahead and, oh, that's gonna kick on probably. Yeah, see, it says that there's more than a half a tank, and I know that is not true. Let's start it up. Wow. She didn't stumble. Now, the last vlog that we did on this car, we ended up doing the throttle body cleaning. And then we also, no, oh, we had spark plugs, yes, because this thing will randomly stumble as it's warming up, and it used to do it pretty frequent on just startup as well. It would kind of stumble. The throttle body cleaning may have corrected the stumbling during startup. I'm pretty sure I haven't had that issue since we did that. However, when it's warming up and coming to an idle, it is still stumbling. So it's, if we look at the scan tool, it misfires across all of the spark, you know, all of the cylinders. It's probably going to start doing it because we're coming down now since it's kind of warm. And you'll kind of be able to hear. But I wonder if there's another sensor askew. And I have a couple of ideas. I'm waiting for it. It's going to start doing it at any time. Like that. That was a good one. That was a good one that time. Just randomly misses like that. Somehow it catches itself. And I've noticed it kind of it's been getting more frequent when I would come out here and let it run like this. So part of me is kind of wondering if the mass airflow sensor could be the culprit. Also, maybe the I don't know if there's actually one on this car, or if there might be one, but the intake air temp sensor. Kind of wonder if maybe that intake air temp sensor could be skewed also. The actual outside temperature reading she's just gonna keep doing it now. The actual outside temperature reading has given me issues since I've had this car. It's not the same sensor though. This sensor is somewhere under the front bumper cover, and it's strictly for, you know, the outside temperature for here in the cabin. Somewhere on this engine there's another sensor that reads the actual intake temperature. Being that this is a turbocharged engine, I'm not exactly sure where it is. It's probably still somewhere on the intake pipe or somewhere before the throttle body, obviously. Because the engine has to know what the density of the air is coming into the engine. So either the mass airflow sensor or that particular, if I can figure out where it is or what it is, the temperature sensor that, you know, for the intake air. I kind of wonder if one of those have a part in this. I don't have the scan tool hooked up today. I'm not going to waste my time you know, figuring that out. It's doing okay now. After a while it just stops, and when the car is driving, you know, in gear and stuff, it runs really good. And like there's no other misses or anything, it's just at that particular moment in time. So it's a very, very bizarre situation. You can kind of hear the spring over there. I don't know if the spring has broken. That is something that you know, also kind of worries me. If that coil spring's broke and it happens to poke out at the right spot, it can obviously puncture through the tire. But that's the least of the, you know, issues with the struts, obviously. I don't know if some of you guys recall, but when I had my Aztec sitting here, when it was still immobile, and we finally got it to move for the first time. We drove it up to the house and then backed it back this way, and on the way back, it was actually that side, that front strut completely gave out. The entire mount had rusted off of the strut itself, just completely broke. Got it up here, and the wheel is completely crooked, and I'm really afraid to look to see what this is all about, because what is going on? Whoa! Oh! Oh no! Oh. So it looks as though the strut has entirely rusted off of the fender. And the wheel obviously went completely cockeyed, and that was a process in itself to kind of fix that issue. Now, I don't want that to happen to this car. You know, I'm kind of worried. It sounds like, you know, especially for sitting for so long, we could turn the wheel and, you know, it's making the same noises, but it doesn't sound like it's really doing anything worse. So, I don't know. So, let's go ahead and take it on a drive around the neighborhood and get it moving, and put maybe, you know, $10 worth of gas in it just to put something fresh in there. There's actual cobwebs and stuff on these wheels. The brakes are going to be terrible. They are so rusted. So rusty. Oh, that's going to sound awful. Alright. The tires sound squeaky. I hope another tire is not going low. Should have maybe looked at them before I started moving the car. Oh yeah, every time I let off the brake pedal, I can hear the, like, back brakes or something making some weird noises. Oh, you're not flat, are you? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, those brakes. Oh, wow. Oh man, there's definitely some, like, flat spots on these tires. Oh, you poor thing. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that I let you sit. Oh no. Can you see just how far down the gas gauge dipped now that we're actually moving? I still don't even think that's 100% right. I keep hearing something awful over here on my left side. I don't know what it is. Sounds like a... it almost sounds like some sort of heat shield or something. Like something scratchy. Oh man, I keep hearing that. Unless it's the actual car falling apart somewhere. So my plan was to... got a stoplight. My plan was to have the struts replaced by the end of the summer. And I don't know now 100% if that's going to happen. There's been a little bit of a change in, you know, the finances. Unfortunately, some stuff has come up, and, you know, that's just life. It happens. So there's obviously, at this point, there's some more important things to take care of, and struts for a 2006 Saab may not necessarily fit that agenda at this time. I'm still gonna try though. I'm gonna try to figure something out, but that's really, you know, one of the reasons why it hasn't gotten done yet. There's been a little bit of change in the plans, unfortunately. It still has a little bit of a bounce to it. Tires still have the weird spots from sitting, probably. And the gauge gets lower and lower and lower. Alright, we put $10 in, which gas is $3.53 a gallon, so it's just shy of 3 gallons. It's back up over the halfway mark now, which is probably a little more accurate, I'm assuming, now that the car has actually been driven. So it's probably somewhat true. There's a large rust lip on this one rotor, I'm pretty sure, because every time I turn the wheel I can hear it kind of rubbing up against the dust plate. It's still driving good. Like, honestly, it's been sitting for a really long time. I mean, that was probably the longest that it sat for, well, for a very long time. In its entire life, maybe. I mean, judging from the amount of mileage on this car, it probably was driven every day. And then, so I let it sit for maybe close to 2 months at this point. I don't even know, but it doesn't feel like it sat. It's kind of surprising. But it's driving okay. Still got fresh oil in it. Oil probably only has a couple hundred miles on it. And we got spark plugs. We got some new spark plugs in it. I don't think the coils are my problems with the misfiring when it's, you know, warming up, because if the coils were the issue, I think it would be missing all the time. And the fact that it's missing on all the cylinders at that point in time that it does it, tells me there's no way it could be the coils. There's no way. Oh, hear it? That's awful. So I'm just gonna keep driving it for a little while here. I want to try to get the rust, you know, off of these rotors. So we're just gonna kind of cruise around, try to see if any of these other obnoxious noises stop, like that, whatever that is. The faster I go, a little more nervous I get about something with one of these struts, you know, taking place. I'm trying to go a little faster, so that way, you know, when I go to stop, maybe, you know, it'll kind of help cut some of that rust off more off the, you know, the brake rotors. But surprisingly enough, they're not pulsing, which is good. They actually still feel really smooth. That was a weird noise. I'm beginning to smell something burn. I really hope it's not this car. It's like a rubbery, electrical type smell. That's saying a lot because my nose is still kind of plugged and I can kind of pick up on that scent for some reason. It might have just been the area that I was in. Oh, there's that noise again. Ugh. The gauge went down again. I swear, it's like the longer the car is running or moving or something, it's probably more accurate. It's a weird situation. Alright. Now we're home. There we go. Alright, well that was fun. Felt kind of nice to drive this thing again. I guess I didn't realize how much I missed it until until I drove it, I guess. Yeah, I don't think the tires were low. I mean, maybe low, but not flat. They kind of sounded like they were squeaking at first, but maybe that was just from, you know, them sitting. The brakes, we brought back a little bit of shine to the brakes. Yeah, there's still some rust there. Oh, I might just start driving it again, sparingly, like not taking it to work or anything. That's quite a commute nowadays. Yeah, this one still has a lot of rusting on it. But you know, maybe here and there to the store or something. I don't like that it's been sitting. I don't like it at all. Alright guys, so that's all that I got for today's vlog. I know there wasn't really a whole lot going on. This was literally just, you know, a nothing vlog for the most part. I guess it was more of an update on the Saab and, you know, just getting it back on the road for a little while. Kind of telling you guys what's going on with it as far as, you know, actually getting the struts. You know, they're expensive. I found a like an off-brand set of struts that are, you know, OEM equivalent. I might throw those on because, you know, there's really no point in spending hundreds of dollars per side just to, you know, because of the age of this car. You know, I just, at this point, I just want some struts up there to make the car handle, you know, safer and better than it is now. So I really don't care, you know, if they're off-brand or not. They're like $200 and some for both, and they're complete. So I don't remember what the brand is, but I found them a while ago, and I like bookmarked, you know, that web page so I could find it again. But we're probably gonna do something, you know, along those lines. I'm not gonna put the actual OEM brand on here or anything. I mean, this, you know, you guys kind of seen, you know, how she's kind of rotting. You know, there's really no point. I don't know how much longer, you know, she's gonna be on the road. So we're just gonna throw on what we can afford and what we can get, and call it a day. So hopefully, like I said, by the end of the summer I'll still be able to do it, but we'll see how things go. In the meantime, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the future, in a future vlog. I'll see you guys later. Hey, take care.